Hello survivors, and welcome to another video. In today's video we are playing on the Sentinel. I have an insanely exciting build for you. It is completely whack. You would never have thought about it, but you know, I did. So maybe someone did think about it. Let me know down in the comment section. Anyway, there was a huge quality of life update to the Sentinel that I think a lot of people may have missed. It's something that we've all been asking for, and this is actually really big, and it's one of the reasons why people hated playing on the Sentinel, and this quality of life change actually really helped it. So let's get to that part in the actual video. But for our build today, we decided, you know, we wanted to play on the new weapon. We got explosive arrows, and then I was like, you know what, we got cluster bomb. Cluster bomb got updated to now apply bleed, and the damage is increased or multiplied by your critical damage chance. So I was like, well, how are we going to increase that? Because there's nothing over here that the Sentinel itself gets. She doesn't get anything that allows her to increase her own crit. We do get dazed, which makes it so that the enemies get a crit more often, so it increases their chance to receive critical strikes, but that's not us increasing our crit chance. So I was like, okay, well, there are a couple of runes that we can use. If we go and take a look over here, there's vulnerable target, which increases our critical damage chance. There is merciless precision, which increases our critical damage chance by 100% against enemies with less than 30% health. And then focused mind gives us a whack ton of damage, but it gives us 3 less skill slots. So I was like, hang on, what 3 skills can we use, or 2 skills can we use that are going to give us crit as well? And we decided, well, you know, the new buff system came into the game. Let's try buff ourselves to get more crit. And what we do is we're playing with skill mastery thrust. All the thrust skills give us a lot of form, and with form we get a lot of crit chance, so it increases our critical damage chance by X amount for a certain amount of time, and then it also opens us up into thrust to bomb and bomb to thrust skill chaining. It also opens us up to haste to finesse, form to haste, and so on and so forth. So we get a lot of synergy over there, some decent ones. We get bulwark from on guard, a pretty decent build. Let's get straight into it and play a 56, the highest curse difficulty on danger 14, and you'll get to take a look at it. So we'll look at what the change is to the actual Sentinel, or to the Ascension, as soon as it pops up. So it will pop up after 40 seconds or so, and you'll see, notice, let me know down in the comment section if you guys notice what the change was by the time, and then afterwards, once we've mounted it, we'll go over what the actual change is. But you guys can let me know what the change was first, and let's see if you noticed it or not. But you should be able to. It's pretty straightforward. Alright, so we've got this. We're going to reduce the amount of time that the Panther needs to appear. That's perfectly fine. As I mentioned over here, it increases our critical damage modifier against far away enemies. Critical damage modifier is different to critical damage chance, so we're not really worried about the modifier. We would want chance. It does say increase your critical damage, so if it says increase your critical chance modifiers, then we will grab those to increase the damage of cluster bomb. But here we go, we've got ourselves a sharp spear already, which is fantastic. And then let me know if you've noticed the change. There was a big one right there on the screen. The Panther did get spawned, and there we go. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys noticed what the quality of life change was or not. If you didn't notice it, then you know, I don't think you've played enough of the Sentinel in your life, or since you've been playing the game. If you're new to the game, then it's understandable if you didn't notice it. The change was that now you can actually see on the screen where the Panther has spawned. So previously there never used to be an indicator of where the location of the Panther is, whereas now there is an indicator for where the Panther will spawn on your screen. And we are then going to now stack absolutely every single piece of crit that we can find. We are looking for the next on guard skill. There we go, fantastic. We go like that. We're then going to go and do this. We're going to lock the crit. We're going to grab lethality over there, beautiful. We're not going to grab Leviathan. and we'll just grab a little bit of health for that extra bit of survivability. So now we're going to be grabbing as much crit as possible. Something really interesting because of the form, you can see we're already on 133%. Massive damage over there. Every time we see a merciless now to increase our crit damage as well, we can go and upgrade it, and that's going to put us in a fantastic spot. So we should see over here, we do want to manually aim cluster bomb now, because we are at the boss fight. Sorry, bad language usage over there, but we are at the boss fight now, so we do want to manually cast it so that it lands on their heads and deals the most amount of damage possible. However, we do have the Chaos Bringer over here, who is trying to bring chaos to our life and is successfully doing that. Also, we do have to remember that the the cluster bomb does have a range to it, so it will also sometimes go over the boss's heads and things like that, so you do have to be wary of the range and things like that. But there we go, we're getting a couple of good kills. We can get the Panther, summoned. That will obviously give us a lot more crit, cast frequency, multicast and things like that, as well as movement speed to try and help us kill everything. But there we go, let's go and kill you. There we go, fantastic. And we've actually got quite a lot of levels that we need to spend as well, but as you can see, we first need to deal with this boss. So there we go, we now got about 20 levels or so. We don't need the poisonous blood, so we're just going to grab the armor. Damage over there, again, looking just for crit damage chance. So things like that over there, we will grab the skill chain increase. Fantastic, every time we thrust, it's going to get a chance to do bomb, so that's perfectly good for us. Damage modifiers are fantastic. Grab a little bit of magnetic, and increased crit chance is going to be great. Reducing our cast frequency of our skills is also going to give us more form, more haste, and things like that. So we do want to grab those as often as possible as well, because that's going to allow us to have an increase in a lot of damage. Oh, we just got 2 in a row over there, but let's go grab that there. Reduce the time necessary. Damage to cluster bomb, because that's what our main skill is, and then you kind of get the feel. So that's exactly what we're looking for, and that's going to help provide us with the most amount of damage possible in this build. Now, I don't think this is going to be a very good Overlord cycle build. Maybe you can get to 6 or 7, maybe 8 if you're really lucky, because you do have some bulwark. But because you are missing fundamental 3 skills, it will be very difficult to scale very high into the end game with this. So do keep that in mind as well when you are playing this. This is just meant for your high danger level possibly, or things like that. Maybe you could go into a higher Overlord, maybe instead of like the second thrust skill, you could go with Scent of Blood or something. Then at least the bulwark you'll be applying will be higher. Or you would have to change something else to maybe synergetic to try and help get more buff or synergies going forward from there. But I don't know, I would have to test it more, which I haven't done. I've only really done the danger level 14 and things like that. So Overlord scaling, not really my specialty, but there is definitely a meta out. Let me know if you guys want to see that meta build out and about already, or if you're just interested in the solo curse cycle builds that I've been currently doing. If you are interested in the Overlord, there are a couple ones, but Overlord's performance right now is a bit shaky. So okay, crit damage modifier, again, not looking for that, although it does really help us, but we don't need far away, so we'll just grab the crit damage modifier there. We're going to grab damage we'll just go the multicast, because I don't think we actually count as being far away from enemies, or at least not enough. Alright, you have a 100% chance to deal a critical strike on enemies with full health. That's fine, it just means we do crit, and then we can go and do that. So now we got auto manual aim on. We're going to get the distance right. There we go, we landed a bomb as he spawned, and you could just see how much damage that bomb actually does to the bosses when we aren't running away for our life, and we're able to hit them with everything. So there we go. First, it seems like the first rotation of bosses are always going to be the hardest, and once you're able to kill them, you are in a much better spot for everything. So I think it's because I also landed up spending those 20 skill points, which I still had during the first boss fight. But once you're able to spend all your skill points, get yourself nice and fed, it does become a lot easier to kill things, as you can see. now we're not being the fastest because we haven't really been chilling in the corner like a good corner player, but that's okay. Increase our crit chance against the nearby enemies, that's fantastic. And then the cast frequency just means we unlock 1.1 second cast or cooldown, which means that we're now going to get even more form. If we go multicast chance, that's even more form as well, because you do get the buff every time you go multicast as well. So every time you cast the spell, you are going to get the buff, and that's just going to go and increase our damage more and more and more and more. But now we landed up getting the boss fight before we have our ascension, so we do get it right now actually. So luckily there is that timer for the bosses to spawn. A lot of people don't like it, but hey, look how it helped us over there with the Sentinel, so it seems like it's probably the perfect thing just for the Sentinel. Now we get a chance to go and destroy this. There we go, that's dead. And then back to our corner to try and speed run the rest of the stage. Alright, thrust damage, we don't really need the damage. Area of effect on cluster bombs fine, reducing the amount of time that it takes for us to go and get onto the Panther is going to be good as well. And then we can go and increase our crit chance and crit damage. If you want to take a look over there, we're on 200% crit chance, which means we also double crit every single time. So every time you get 100% crit, you are guaranteed to crit that remaining time. So 100% is a guaranteed crit, 200% is every single attack will crit twice, and so on and so forth. So we are on 200%, which means that every single attack is going to crit twice in a row as we hit enemies with those attacks. So we're dealing quite a lot of damage because of that, and if we can get even more crits on top of that, we'll be even stronger. So it also increases the amount of damage that we're getting from here. Alright, the next boss fight has started. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get our Sentinel, our Panther this time, but you can see the multicast coming off there on the cluster bomb, just dealing huge amounts of area damage to the bosses and everything around them. Very, very easy, very relaxed build today. So easy, and the quality of life change really making a huge difference to be able to find the Panther without having to stress, where is this thing? Is it top, bottom, left, right, sideways, in another complete universe, because you can't find the thing. It's just so much better now. Alright, we are on 7 minutes. I really would have liked to have done it in under 7 minutes, but it is what it is. When we tried this before, I think we landed up getting the On Guard before the Storm, the Sharp Spear, maybe that was the thing. We also did land up getting the synergy skills like Haste to Finesse and what's the other one, Form to Haste. So we did get a couple of those as well. I guess that does make quite a big difference with the amount of damage you're going to be doing, especially if we get the Haste to Finesse. So very, very strong there. Just depends on your RNG. We can still get it though. It's not off the table. We're not finished just yet. But of course, these are the things you are going to be looking for when you are playing the game and you are going into the the higher cycles. If you want to be dealing with the higher overlords, you are going to need those synergy buffs, and you are going to need them quickly. Okay, so we've got reduced the time for the Panther to be tamed, and then we've also got reducing the time for the Panther to appear. So you can see that's normally 40 seconds. Unfortunately, yesterday when we played with the Assassin, when we got the reduced time, it did actually reduce the time. For some reason, that's not working on the Panther, so we will show that to people at the higher ups, the developers, and maybe it's just a tooltip error, or maybe it's not even working correctly. We'll never know unless I go now and time it, but I would have to time it first. The timer for the Sentinel does only correspond to when you're off the actual Panther as well, whereas the Assassin seems to correspond to as soon as you've killed the bounty. So they are a bit different in how they work practice-wise, but I believe that there is a bug right now with the Sentinel where you can't go through portals when you're on your Panther, so we are going to just wait for that to run out. And then even our base stats, you can see 131 crit chance. That's because of vulnerable target. It does go up when enemies are less than 30% as well, so we were dealing quite a decent amount of damage there for absolutely nothing. And then you do get the skill chains as well, which makes it even more powerful. So you could go even, if you don't want to, or you don't have focused mind available for yourself yet, you can go grab more thrust skills, give you more form, as well as more bomb skills, and then you've got all those juicy skill chain thrust bombs as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.